Sub-Zero isn't just a character in Mortal Kombat. He's also on the Cardinals defense.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias live from Studio K. Don't forget to become an Inner Circle member today by downloading that Circle K app. And we're super excited. We've got new corporate overlords here on the program. Big thanks to our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, who are our presenting sponsor. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit Play at Gila to learn more today. We're talking Will Johnson. I think he's the most important guy, not named Kyler Murray, on this team. For one very big reason. After Starling Thomas got hurt, Will Johnson obviously is now going to be the starter. And that defense has to get big stops this year. They have to put the offense in a position to succeed. Because we have questions about Drew Petzing, we have questions about Kyler Murray, but what we shouldn't have questions about is this defense's ability to play and play well. But Will Johnson is probably the big question mark now out there as starting cornerback. He had a hit or miss preseason, couple of penalties. It's all rookie stuff, right? And you have to expect that. But Will Johnson had top 5 talent. He was a guy that some would argue was the best corner in the entire draft. And the Cardinals got him at number 47. And the chip on Will Johnson's shoulder is going to be a big part of what could lead this team to the playoffs and maybe even beyond. I don't know if you got a chance to read the article by Will Johnson in the Player Tribune today. It was spectacular, and it got you in the mindset that Sub-Zero is in. Yeah, that's the nickname I'm giving him. He is hell-bent on proving people wrong. He is hell-bent on proving the media wrong, who he thinks had a large part in spiraling the story in regards to his knee. Because he made it very clear in this article, it was not the knee that was his issue last year. It was a severe case of turf toe that kept him out. And that the knee has not been an issue since he had that cartilage removed a few years ago. But the narrative started to spiral, and people started to believe it, and scouts started to question things, and so started the avalanche that led Johnson to becoming a member of the Arizona Cardinals. And I thought this was interesting. He had a quote in the article about what his mindset was as he started to fall down draft boards. And he said in the article, quote, "Watching team after team pass on you, knowing you're better than some of the players they're drafting, it's a feeling that's hard to put into words. The longer I was in there," being the green room, "the more uncomfortable I was." We see these guys on TV as the slide starts to happen. The guys that are in the green room because they expected them to be top 10, top 20 picks. Some people have made memes out of it, the Aaron Rodgers slide. But how uncomfortable it must be for a guy, and reading what Will Johnson had to say about it, that chip on his shoulder is huge. He wants to prove people wrong, and he's going to have every opportunity to do it this year as a member of the Arizona Cardinals. on PHNX Cardinals last week, Brian Baldinger was a guest, and Baldy said that ball skills travel and that Will Johnson has those and that Will has the full package, that he is everything that you want, and that he's the kind of guy that's a ball hawk, that's going to be able to make plays, potentially even score on the defensive side of the ball. If he can put it together in year one and put it together quickly, he could be a complete difference maker. When you add it into the pass rush that this team appears to actually have this year, the defense could become a huge strength for the Cardinals. And if they can get stops, if Will Johnson can be that kind of ball hawk and find the end zone from time to time, or just make big picks when necessary, if he's the guy that starts following all the number ones around on the field because he's that lockdown guy, this Cardinals team could win the NFC West. This Cardinals team could make a deep playoff run. And it's a lot of weight on that shoulder. But that chip's ready to carry that weight. It's pretty obvious. And the biggest thing in this article was the way that he ended it. And he had another quote in it that kind of laid out his goals for this year. He said, quote, "My mission is clear. Prove everyone wrong, prove myself right, and add another ring to match the natty." If that's not the kind of guy you want on your team, I don't want you being a fan of my team, because that mindset, that hard-nosed mindset, that I will do anything to prove you wrong, is the kind of thing that can fuel entire careers, not just a season, but entire careers. This guy has 45 other, draft slots, 46, that he looks at and he goes, "You all made a mistake." And you don't think he's going to use that every time he steps on that field? If he can channel it right, he could be the difference maker on the defensive side of the ball. And if Kyler puts it together on the offense, get ready for a hell of a season coming up. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in somebody else that's got a giant chip on their shoulder, but a beautiful mustache on their lip. It's the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. Shane, how are you, my friend?
Where?
Where? Oh, it's under the shirt.
I don't have one.
I mean,
I'm nervous.
You're the best producer here.
Well,
in this room.
Yeah. Then why would I have a chip on my shoulder?
I meant in this room. There's like 5 of them that are next door.
4 of them.
Well, I count Leah as a former producer, still better. So.
Yeah, I mean, I love this. I love this type of mentality for him, because there's so many stories in sports of guys, writing down the names of everybody drafted ahead of them and
pinning it in their locker.
Yeah, and now it just doesn't mean as much. But when you have the mentality that not only are you going to make people regret it and you're going to prove yourself right, but you have the championship mentality already, because this isn't a guy who just who wants to win. This is a guy that has proven he does win. He is a winner at heart. And that's going to be something that is vital to this secondary, even at such an inexperienced age in the NFL. He has a lot of experience in football, a lot of experience in winning, and he has that culture that was instilled in him at the U of M. What he's bringing to the Cardinals is invaluable. It just depends if he can stay on the field. And I'm not talking injury concerns, just playability.
Play smart. Yep. Don't make dumb penalties. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. He talked about it in the article too, and I highly recommend you read it. At the Players Tribune, not just you, Shane, everybody. But he talked about how watching, the Chargers pass up on him and Jim Harbaugh pass up on him, a guy that knows him so well, that was an extra kind of jab in the gut there. And I can't imagine what it feels like going into last season. Everybody expected him to be that top 10, top 5 kind of guy. and something completely out of your control unravels it. And not anything like turf toe, while it lingers, isn't a massively serious thing, and it completely derails everything, right? If he doesn't tap into that, it would be a disservice, and it's pretty clear he's going to.
Yeah, there was never any question about how talented he was, and that's why you have to make that pick in the second round. Like, you just had to. You should be so excited if you're a Cardinals fan, because not only did you get pretty good production out of the guys that you weren't paying premium in the secondary last year, but they're also so young. And then you add this on top of it. Like, this secondary could go from being a weaker point to being an elite unit in 1 year.
Did you watch that final preseason game?
I did not.
Yeah, you're lucky. That was brutal to watch, and that's why we're not talking about it today. If you watched it, more power to you.
Do you think they should go down to 2 preseason games?
I think they should do away with preseason games altogether and
Wow.
just do multiple joint practices that fans can go out and watch for free. No, don't feed me this slop. Like, I get it. There's TV. There's all sorts of things. It'll never happen. But it's worthless. It's pointless.
Well, I think it's important to replicate some type of game atmosphere, and you don't get that from joint practices. But I think 1 or 2 is fine.
Yeah.
I think I can't believe there was a time where they did 4. That's just insane.
Well, you saw a lot of the starters for a while back in the day. Not towards the end of the 4-game preseason when they were doing that. But yeah, at this point, I think 2's pushing it.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if the league has to be like, hey, you got to play your starters at least a series.
Yeah. There's
Right.
also just like the culture of, and it's a good culture for the most part, of keeping players healthy. I think has just gone too far, and we've obviously seen that with the NBA.
Yeah.
But like, look, these guys are going to play 17 games in the regular season.
They want to add an 18th. They're not worried about.
But what I'm saying is, like, you're playing 17 games, and I understand adding 2 more or 3 more on top of that and asking players to play is crazy. But to the same point, like, if you're going to get injured in preseason, yeah, it doesn't mean anything, but like you're going to be playing 17 more games of football at least. Like, injuries happen. I think that these games would carry a lot more weight if there were more, starters playing and getting real experience. And then that way, if you only do 1 or 2, I'm not saying play the whole game, because again, I understand keeping players healthy, and there are definitely certain reasons why you shouldn't be playing people at all.
Yeah.
But if there were less of them and less time to get reps, I still think it's important. And you have to weed out the 53. Like, you need that still.
What if you make it a smaller amount of guys you can bring into preseason?
Yeah.
First round of cuts have to happen before
you don't get
even
hard
enter
knocks.
preseason. You get hard knocks through training camp. I don't know. I don't think there's a perfect solution to it.
Football's painful.
A big shout out to the bias in the chat, AZ Tex and Mike Mayer, the real Mac. We saw Chris in there. Math to the power of Joe. Hello to everybody. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I was scrolling a little bit this weekend, Shane, and I saw this interesting stat. The one thing Diamondbacks we're going to talk today. They have now had 15 different players record a save this season. The most ever in the history in a single season of Major League Baseball. A league that has been around so long that my great-great-grandfather could have watched Major League Baseball, and it has never happened before. 15 different players recording a save, and that right there tells you everything you need to know about the season. The fact that this team could not keep a bullpen together due to injury and multiple other factors. You can't win when you have 15 different guys recording saves. Just not going to happen.
It's insane. It's so insane.
I mean, have you looked at, there's been some people that show kind of the bullpen that started the season, and everybody subsequently is essentially marked out on it as either injured or missed time, and then the amount of guys they've run through that. I don't care who was managing. I don't care. Casey Stengel, Joe Torre. I don't think anybody was going to make that bullpen work, and I think that is a key reason as to why things have not worked out. On the other side, we're going to take a look at a stat that will blow your mind. It is probably the craziest stat in all of sports, and an athlete right here has it. We'll talk about it right after this on Southwest Bias. Circle K, you know I stopped there for my personal fuel and the fuel for my car, because there's nothing better than knowing that you're going to save money simply for being you. And that's what happens when you're a member of the Inner Circle. All you got to do is download the Circle K app, put in a little bit of information, then you're going to save 25 cents off per gallon in your first 5 fill-ups. Then you're going to save 3 cents per gallon. Then you're going to hit that sweet ESPO level. You're going to get 5 cents off. But that's not it. The savings don't stop there. You're also going to save randomly from time to time. They'll just hit you up, hey, you get 25 cents off per gallon. Or, hey, we're having a fuel day. You're saving 40 cents off per gallon. Or right now you buy 3 20-ounce Cokes, you're going to save 25 cents off per gallon. Or you can get a 79 cents Polar Pop, any size, 99-cent Froster. They've got deals for everybody and anything that you need just by becoming a member of the Inner Circle. For free, download the Circle K app, put in your information. Terms and conditions apply, as they do with everything in life at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details. And look, I just happened to watch some of the NASCAR race at Daytona over the weekend. I think it was the Coke Zero 400 or something. Free ad, sorry. But it was unbelievable. Like, I admit, I don't watch NASCAR on the regular, but I have started a lot more since I went out to the last race at Phoenix Raceway, and they're coming back. You can witness a champion get crowned at the NASCAR championship weekend. It's October 31st through November 2nd, and you're not going to find a better venue and a better sporting event in the Valley, and the weather's just fantastic that time of year. So go check it out. My favorite part is the Desert Diamond Casino infield experience. It is unbelievable. When you get into that infield, you get to watch the guys get in the cars. They got a concert. You get to see the garages. You get to watch from the unbelievable seats there. You're going to want to be a part of it. Tickets and hospitality and upgrades are still available. Get yours now at the link in our show notes. And I was telling you that there is one of the craziest stats I've ever seen in all of sports. It might be one of the craziest stats in the history of sports, and nobody's talking about it. There is a superstar that's going unnoticed in the Valley, and the stat that I'm going to tell you will blow your mind. Alyssa Thomas. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, WNBA, I don't want to hear about that. I'm telling you, if you are not paying attention to this, you are missing out on probably the best superstar this side of Devin Booker that we have in basketball in the Valley. She's got the attitude and the rebounding abilities of Charles Barkley, the mid-range game of friggin' Devin Booker, and the court vision of Steve Nash. I'm just going to say it. And the stat is 39% of every triple-double in the history of the WNBA, Alyssa Thomas has accounted for those. This is a league that's been around since 1997. I wasn't even in high school in 1997. This league's been around, and she has 39% of all the triple-doubles that have happened there. But that's not all. Her 5 triple-doubles in the last 9 games are more than anybody else has in their career. And she's done it in 9 games. Her 17 career triple-doubles, like I said, 39% of all triple-doubles in the 29 years of this league. And she's on pace to set the single-season assist record, and she's going to blow by it. She only needs 54 assists in her final games, and she averages 9.2 assists right now. All she has to average is 6.8 assists per game to beat that. She is having one of the best seasons in sports one of the best careers when it comes to triple doubles. Like, this is Oscar Robertson type stuff. And we're not talking about it enough in the Valley. I went out there on Friday. I watched the Mercury play. Watch them play the Valkyrie. And some of the things you see her do on the court will blow your mind. Some of the passes are just insane. I said it a couple weeks ago. We've demanded quality basketball. We've demanded basketball with an edge and with a passion. We wanted stars to fulfill what they came here to do. And Alyssa Thomas is doing that and doing that in spades. It is unbelievable what she's able to accomplish. The fact that more people aren't talking about it blows my mind. The fact that more people have not jumped on this bandwagon just is insane to me. Her attitude alone is fun to watch. The way she talks to opponents, the way she's going at the refs, it reminds you of Diana Taurasi, of Charles Barkley, of these guys that are the great attitude era of basketball. The way she will throw around her body to get those rebounds and the way she positions herself in such a smart way. There's nothing soft about her game. This is a star that you need to go out and watch, or turn on Arizona Family Sports and watch it. Whatever you got to do, go watch highlights. If you don't like watching, go watch highlights. All right. Brian says definitely doesn't remind me of Barkley. That's fine. Doesn't have to for you. Does for me. She's been spectacular, and I highly recommend you go watch her. And I can't say enough about what you'll see. The triple double thing it's so fun to watch her just pile up those stats. She set the Mercury single game record for assists at 16 the other day. She tied herself at third highest assists in a game in WNBA history with that. She's all over that leaderboard too. People want to talk about Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark's great. She's next. But Alyssa Thomas is now. You should be paying attention to it. Shane, we're going to welcome you back in because I heard a rumor that you might or might not have a little fun for us here at the end of the show.
Oh no, that rumor was false.
That rumor's false.
I have nothing. We got to fill time
all right,
for 7
Shane.
minutes.
Well, then you can fill the last 8 minutes without me.
I do want to talk a little bit about Alyssa Thomas.
Okay,
because
I want to hear your thoughts.
Because first of all, I agree. The things that she's doing is otherworldly and unbelievable. But I think the bigger talking point here, I don't want to say that because I think that's part of the problem. I think part of the problem is everyone sees this type of stuff happening in the W, and the first thing that people say is we're not talking about it enough, rather than just wanting to talk about it. But it is 100% true. Look, I'm not watching SportsCenter every night like I used to. I'm not watching.
Nobody is.
All
Don't
of this
worry.
Shit. But where you get your information now is social media, and sure, we're seeing these every so often, and it might not be in your ecosystem of your algorithm or whatnot, but I still think that it warrants way more coverage, and the issue with that lies within the WNBA as well. Like I've always talked about how this association does nowhere near enough for their players' marketability, but they have taken a step better. A
little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But what she's doing doesn't just warrant a push alert once every month when she sets a new record. It warrants more eyes on it, and more viewability, more talking points, and I just want everyone to kind of take a step back and read that stat. Listen to what Espo just said. 39% of the triple doubles in the league. Can you imagine? And I know triple doubles are far more rare in the W. I get that, but
it's a shorter game.
Any stat like that,
yeah.
Like if that happened in college basketball, if that happened in the WNBA, where sure it's not triple doubles, but what if it's Nikola Jokic owns 30% of all 35-plus point triple-doubles. Like, that's something that everybody would be taken aback by.
Yeah.
And, again, the fact that you mentioned Alyssa Thomas and people don't even know who she is still, it's wild to me.
Look, all I ask is go watch some highlights. Watch one game. If it's not for you, fine. It's not for you. But I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't at least try to see what she's doing and how unbelievable it truly is. It's a hell of an athletic feat. So do you have something, or do I actually need to stall for 5 minutes
I
here?
do have something.
I mean, I can talk about absolutely nothing for 5 minutes and be just fine. But what do you got?
I know. So last week we talked about the best logos, and a lot of them were coming from either teams that are no longer here or just defunct as a whole, sports teams. So I wanted to play a game called "Is this a real or fake defunct sports team?"
Ooh.
And I think you'll be pretty good at it.
Putting the fun in defunct.
So we're going to go ahead and just start with what I think should be an easy one.
Okay.
The Tiburon Sharks.
It is a defunct team.
No, that is a fake team. That is a team that Madden created that has been in every Madden game since the create a team feature was in.
I was thinking of the Tarpons from that's an actual defunct minor league baseball team. I was thinking of them. I apologize. All right, I'm 0 for 1. What other defunct teams do we have?
The Cleveland Spiders, real or fake?
Real, 100% real. They wanted to rename. Fans wanted the Guardians to be named the Spiders.
Yeah,
so
that is one of the all-time best defunct logos. If you haven't seen it, it's just a spider, but the bulb on the back of the spider, whatever that is called, is a baseball.
I believe it's the spider's ass.
Sure. The London Bulldogs.
It sounds so right that I'm going to say it's fake.
It's fake. The New Orleans Ghouls.
Real.
Fake. That'd be a sweet name, though.
I thought it might be like an arena football team. I know they had the voodoo there, so I thought maybe the Ghouls could have been that. What else we got?
The Houston Comets.
Yes, they were a WNBA team.
Great logo as well.
Original.
The Tampa Bay Mutiny.
Yes, they were a MLS team, I believe.
They were an MLS team. Look at that, Espo.
Yeah.
Also a very good logo. The Bismarck Marksmen.
Bismarck. I'm going to say fake.
Yeah, that's just too much of a handful.
Too much of a good thing.
The Boston Breakers.
The Boston Breakers were a USFL team. They played at the University of Boston.
They were also an NWSL team.
Were they?
Yep.
So they both were different teams. All right.
The Springfield Jam.
No, I'm going to call this fake. There was a jam, but it was the Bakersfield Jam.
Nice. I would love the Springfield Jam to be like a G League team, or what is it called now?
Yeah, it's the G League.
A G League team that instead of like basketball jam, they're just like strawberry jam.
That feels like the Vermont Jam. Like it would just be preservatives.
Yeah,
right?
That's all I got. But I did want to play one quick game before we get out of here.
Okay, let me ask you one.
Okay.
Phoenix Smash, real or fake?
It's got to be real because that's something you would know.
It is the indoor tennis team that Jimmy Connors played. There you go. I can keep going. I got the Phoenix Eclipse, real or fake?
Nice. That's fake.
That's real. It was a CBA team that Cedric Ceballos owned.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's an elite.
Charles Barkley was part of it too, I think.
Espo, if you were to expand.
I have, and I've contracted too. I lose weight and gain weight all the time.
If you were to have an expansion team in any sport, where would you go and what would you name it? You don't have to specify sport.
Anywhere, and what would I name it? Man, I would probably. I mean, if we're going obvious, Seattle Supersonics would be the one.
One that doesn't exist.
I've always wanted to see like a pro team in Tucson.
Okay.
You know, like the Tucson. You know, I don't know,
the Timber Rattlers.
No. I'd love to see like the Tucson Bandits or something.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. But I think the Vegas Dealers has to be a team coming up.
Yeah.
You got to give me the basketball team as the Vegas Dealers.
What about a team in Alaska named the Cosmonauts, since they're so close to Russia?
Let's do it.
Perfect.
I love your what is that, super mega baseball 4 team, the Cosmonauts?
3, 4, and 2.
I'm
been
in.
around for a while.
We need to fire that up in the new the new viewing area.
Die Hard only.
That is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. Thank you to our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos for sponsoring this. Big thanks to the mustache behind the Mac at Shane Diefenbach. You can follow him at Shane Dief. You can follow me at Aspel. You can follow the show at PHNX_sports. And remember, I don't know what to remember. Ahoy, ahoy.
We all silly like the mayor.